Welcome back to ranD&D.
Yeah, there you go.
I got this now.
Welcome back to ranD&D, where we roll for random player characters and try and make them make sense.
Yeah.
This will be our third player set. I am Tim. Emily is on vacation, so I'm joined by
Cindy.
Woo! Today we're going to be rolling for a random race, class, background, and personality traits, and then trying to figure out how this character would play.
Let's build our Frankenstein.
Let's get started. So our class today is Barbarian.
Barbarian.
So barbarians are all about the primal instinct, embrace their animal nature, go into rages, they thrive in the wild. They live a life of danger, sometimes with the tribe, sometimes without. They are the war leaders. They are wandering, and they dive headlong into danger every time.
I remember Chris Hemsworth in a field with a wolf puppy.
Yeah, we're past him, though.
We're past him.
So barbarians get light and medium armor. They can use shields. They're actually better when they don't wear any armor, though, because they get some...
the rippling muscles.
They're good with all the weapons, strength and constitution for their proficient saving throws, and they only get 2 skills from animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. So they actually have a pretty limited skill set.
Well, yeah.
They're not very skillful.
Well, their muscles make up for it.
Yeah, usually. Our barbarian path for this guy is going to be the Storm Herald.
Oh, what's that?
So these are barbarians who have learned to channel their anger into primal magic and duplicate weather effects around them.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
I love this.
So they are literal forces of nature.
So this is Chris Hemsworth. It's just Thor.
This is closer to Thor, yeah.
Sorry, Emily.
They can also train... They train with other champions of nature, so they're usually friends with like a druid or something along those lines.
That makes sense.
And they prefer locations of extreme weather, so they'd really like the... Wherever a lot of storms hit and extreme...
The Bermuda Triangle.
Extreme environments are where they go.
Well, with climate change, that's the entire world now.
Yeah. So they literally, when they go into rages, they get this 20-foot aura around the character that can deal damage, it can give shields, it can distract or disable foes. Like, they literally create, like, a sandstorm around them, or, like, really extreme heat, and yeah, it's fun.
That's real cool.
So we have a Storm Herald Barbarian, and we need a race.
Give me a race.
Our race today...
Oh, just like the other guy.
Yep, so these are... Alien minds, you gotta play something with a reptilian brain, very limited emotional scope, third-party perspective, cold and calculating, and, of course, anything dead is now meat.
Num-nums.
For eating.
No.
Utility and survival above all. They have very limited scopes for planning things ahead of time. Good old lizard folk.
You know what? I think that falls into Barbarian very well.
I think it does too. So our background is an Outlander.
Okay.
Not like the Outlander.
Oh, not like Jamie.
Not like there can only be one, but definitely guys who live far from civilization and the comforts. They enjoy staying in the wilds. The origin for this guy is a pilgrim, so he is far from home.
Like, does he have a buckle hat?
Not that kind of pilgrim.
I want him to have one.
You can give him the buckle hat.
Hell yeah.
Outlanders get pretty good proficiencies. They're proficient in athletics and survival. They get a musical instrument.
Ooh.
And their feature for being an Outlander is one excellent memory of maps and geography, and he's extra good at foraging.
I mean, that would make sense. He wants to get all the dead things.
Mm-hmm. All right. Personality traits. You ready?
Am I?
His personality is, I was, in fact, raised by wolves.
Stop.
Oh,
a lizard raised by wolves.
Well, wild animals will interpret that one as. His ideal, change. Life is like the seasons, in constant change. We must change with it.
That tracks with the storm thing really well.
Chaotic.
Definitely chaotic.
Mm-hmm. His bond It is my duty to provide children to sustain my tribe.
What?
Yep. He's looking for some lady lizard folk.
Oh, I was thinking it was like a Hansel and Gretel situation. Like, he was the witch. Like, they were all feasting on the children?
Yes, they need actual...
The children?
Yes, they need actual human children to eat.
That was what my mind went to. But no, that makes sense. He needs to... Got it.
His flaw is, I am too enamored of ale, wine, and other intoxicants.
Oh, him and our Tabaxi.
Got another,
Ski.
Ski
will work out real well.
And his lizard folk quirk is he appreciates the soft humanoids who realize they need chainmail and swords to match the gifts he was born with.
So he's just like, aw, sweeties.
That's so cute.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so his alignment is definitely, I think, chaotic neutral again.
We're a very neutral group this time.
This is a very chaotic neutral group. You could make him chaotic evil very easily, I think, but...
If he has to go steal all those children?
Yeah, if you interpret his bond...
I can interpret it any way I want.
Interpret the bond a little differently, and chaotic evil makes a lot of sense.
Let's make him a villain.
Yeah. So his skills, he gets athletics and survival. Survival being a wisdom skill. He has access to a lot of other wisdom skills as well. I went with intimidation for him to pair with his high strength that he's going to have.
Yeah.
So we can have some kind of social interaction buff. And then perception is always just a good one.
Yeah.
The stats, you're going to want to max out your strength as much as possible. Constitution is also really important for barbarians. And then I'd worry about other skills or dexterity is important too. To have a little more AC. And then the rest, he has some wisdom skills. So I guess wisdom would be next. And then charisma can be your dump because you're going to be a wild, extreme child by himself and wants to find a girlfriend real bad.
Real bad. I like this image that's forming in my head. I'm thinking the Gecko Geico that is ripped beyond belief. So if you can do it with a New Zealand accent.
He can try.
Yes.
All right. You ready? All right. You ready for the backstory?
I'm ready.
This guy's name is Vargach.
Vargach? Yes?
Vargach wasn't raised as much as he grew. Abandoned as a hatchling, Vargach learned to hunt and survive all on his own, based only on instinct. He and the other predators in the jungle came to an understanding after a few skirmishes, and even learned to share territory and meals.
Oh, so he's like the Tarzan.
Yeah. On his own, Vargach grew to an overlarge size, became an apex predator of the jungle, and began to wander the world. Vargach wandered for years and weathered the changing of many seasons. Each season that passed seemed to bring even more strength to Vargach. Vargach came across civilization on the outskirts, picked up some of the basics of common and weaponry, but traveled on. Lately, Vargach has been occupied with thoughts of why he does not have a tribe of his own.
Yeah.
And set his sights on having children to start a new tribe.
Oh no. He can't mate with the kitty, can he?
Probably not.
Talk about Frankenstein.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd go really simple backstory with this guy. He's just a wild lizard folk who's just hunting and is a giant apex predator.
Yeah.
And is ready to just go to town and kill whatever comes across his way.
So to get him in any party, just be like, yo, we're gonna go meet some babes.
That's his incentive.
You
can promise him
babes.
He's
just a boy.
He's in... Oh, God. Yes, I'd literally play him just as a beast from the wilds, that is. Got recruited somehow into whatever adventure, but is just ready to eat and fight and go at it.
That can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, for weapons, I'd give him like a great club. he's gonna look down at like man-made armor and weapons and things. So I'd have him rip a giant tree branch off a tree. It's his weapon that he uses.
No, I'm into that.
Yeah,
very much.
And he's very much gonna be the frontline guy, charging headfirst in. Let's do this. I am the most deadly thing there is.
So with his storm heralding, do we know what kind of elements he would do, or is he kind of a jack of all trades?
Use as you go. There's storm, desert, and sea, and each give different things.
Ooh.
So sea's probably far, but I'd see what you get at each benchmark level and see if the storm one or the desert one makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a lizard folk who's wandering the world, just absorbing the seas. So whatever you felt like going, I think would work. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
I would play this character.
Yeah.
Just...
I can tell by the look in your eyes.
Yeah.
You're very giddy about him.
Just no nonsense. He's not going to play politics or care or plan. He's just ready to go. And he's just ready to go.
East?
I am the apex predator. Let's do it.
Oh my god. He's very humble.
He would not be humble at all. He would be amazing. All right. So that does it for our third player character for this set. We'll be back shortly with our fourth and final of this party.
Let's round this baby out.
It's an interesting party so far.
I'm into it.
If you liked this episode, please like, subscribe, do the things, let us know you're listening, and we'll be back shortly. I am Tim.
I'm Cindy.
Happy